Good evening, everybody. Christmas time soon. So exciting. Okay, so give it a second for a couple of you to jump on, and then I will get started. Okay, I don't know if you guys are like me, but I love not the cheesy Christmas songs, but the really good Christmas songs. And this song I'm playing right now is The Little Drummer Boy, but it's like a rock version of The Little Drummer Boy, and oh my goodness, it's my favorite. It's by For King and Country, and it's called Little Drummer Boy. So if you like some fun Christmas music to rock out to, check that out. Hey ladies, we've got Crystal, Rhonda, Sarah. There's a few of you jumping on. This is awesome. Okay, I'm gonna get started. I'm gonna turn this down and jump right into it. So I know there's some that have to catch this on the replay. So if you're watching this on the replay, make sure to put hashtag replay. We are gonna have some giveaways and all of those awesome things. So there's lots new to this group, the Healthy Hangout. So for those of you that don't know, my name is Megan Baldwin. I am a platinum leader with Young Living Essential Oils and the founder of this group, the Healthy Hangout. And the purpose is to teach and to educate you on how to use Young Living Essential Oils, which are the best oils on the planet, and how it can help your health, wellness, your emotional well-being, your family, spice up your food, all sorts of things. So tonight is a super fun class. I was actually excited to kind of put it together and new fun things to give you guys to try and experiment. It's the season of like cooking and all of that kind of fun stuff. So if you know me, you know I love Christmas. I also love oils so much. And I like to use them and experiment with them in cooking and also in Christmas baking, which is super fun. But before we get into that, one of the most important things to know is the information I'm going to talk about tonight is specifically for Young Living essential oils only. I would never recommend put any other essential oil in food that you're going to consume. And the reason is because Young Living Essential Oils has the highest quality of oils on the market today. So they follow what's called Seed to Seal, which is a standard of really high quality essential oils. It basically means that Young Living guarantees 100% pure therapeutic grade essential oils from carefully identified plants with natural chemical profiles that match or exceed the world's standards. So they have rigorous internal standards for testing, which gain them the therapeutic results and benefits. Therapeutic meaning it can help as an alternative therapy. Without harm or side effects. Seed to Seal also has like amazing sourcing standard and science behind the product and how it's distilled, the proper temperatures, the proper pressures. The harvest is at ideal time at specific times of the year, specific times of the day. When they distill, it's specific temperature, pressure, time, all of that as well, where other places maybe don't have that much research and science behind it. So, for example, you could still have an organic lavender oil, but if it doesn't meet the certain constituents in it, if they're not within a certain percentage, each individual constituent within the lavender, it does not meet a therapeutic benefit. So you still have an organic lavender that you're smelling, which is great, but you're not getting the therapeutic benefit, and that's what we really, really want. So there is lots of cheap, synthetic, diluted, and potentially toxic oils on the market. It's a very hot thing right now. You see them everywhere, but you have to be very careful what you're using. A lot of them are perfume grade, which can be synthetic, potentially toxic. A lot of things are diluted, you'll notice in health food stores. So you want to use high quality oils. So Young Living is the single largest producer of therapeutic grade essential oils known in the world. They have thousands of acres of aromatic farmland where they have grown, harvested, distilled, bottled, blended, everything produced and then sent right directly to you. So you definitely get what you pay for. So I just wanted you guys to really understand that before we jump into kind of all the recommendations. So we've got lots of more of you guys jumping on tonight. Candace, Lana, Charity, we've got Chris and Jackie, Diane, Crystal, Charity, Sandy, there's Ashley. Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. Dasha, awesome. Okay, this is gonna be fun. So since it's officially December, I just thought how fun to talk about some of the oils commonly used in the kitchen. So most people think of essential oils as, oh, I'm gonna diffuse it at bedtime. I might use it if I have a headache. Uses like that, I might put it on a sore muscle. But what people don't realize is it's actually super beneficial for inside our body, and which means we can add it to our food for food flavoring. So Canada and the United States, we have a little bit different like registration with our product. US deals with the FDA, Canada deals with Health Canada. They're just governing bodies to help and protect us. I won't elaborate too much on that because I do think, yeah, some things are interesting how they do it. I'll leave it at that. But how it works is when a product is registered with a governing body, it cannot be labeled as aromatic for diffusing and topical, so applying on your skin, and internal consumption on the same bottle. So the product we get from Young Living, so if it is a lemon oil, it's just lemon in the bottle. They distill it the same way, but there's two labels. There'll be a regular label that's for aromatic or topical use, and then there'll be a label that will say, in the United States, it says Vitality. In Canada, it says plus. It's got this little plus sign. A little bit different how they label the bottles. It's all the same thing in the bottle. So I'm gonna freely talk about things. You can pop your suggestions or questions or tips that you have along with kind of what you're learning tonight. But just so you kind of know, that's how things are done. Okay, so we are going to talk about some of my favorites, like the citrus oils. So there's lemon, orange, grapefruit, tangerine. There's savory oils like peppermint, basil, black pepper, dill, fennel, lavender, ginger, marjoram, oregano, cinnamon bark, clove, coriander, nutmeg, rosemary, sage, spearmint, tarragon, and thyme. Like, it's literally, there's so many oils. So if you think of any spice in your kitchen, you could use a Young Living essential oil in place of that. So pro tip is oils go a long way. They're super potent. So when cooking with essential oils, remember less is more. Always remember less is more. A little bit goes a really, really, really long way. Okay, so it's fun to experiment too, like experiment, taste, test things out. Sometimes it doesn't turn out how you expect. I actually had thought of, I was talking to another girlfriend when we were doing these, we plan out classes. She does some for her team too. So we talk about like ideas and share them with each other. And she actually had the idea of like, hey, why don't I do a live cooking class and show people how to use it with the oils? I contemplated it, but you guys, that would probably be a really bad episode of Nailed It. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that show, but I don't know if you want to see me cooking live. It's way more fun to be able just to share the ideas, and then you guys can take that and run with it and try it out, because we don't want this to last like hours and for things to go like incredibly wrong on camera. Okay, so here are a few ideas on how to use your essential oils with cooking. Okay, so baked goods. Who loves them some baked goods? Around Christmas time, I honestly don't typically eat baked goods, but when it's like Christmas, like how can you not? Because it's so delicious. So Basically any sort of baked good. So whether you're doing cookies, cakes, all that kind of stuff, you're gonna add the essential oil to the batter right before you're gonna bake it. So it kind of be like that last thing. So you're gonna add all of your ingredients to your cookie mix, have it all stirred up, and then lastly, you'll add your couple drops of essential oil, give it a good stir, and then you'll kind of divvy it out into your cupcakes or your cookies or whatever, your gingerbread men, and then right into the oven, okay? So depends on the baked good. Typically 3 to 6 drops is lots in fresh baking. For beverages, it depends on the size and the amount that you're doing. I love oils in my beverages, so I actually use more than what maybe typical people would put in, but around 3 to 8 drops of oil in a pitcher of water, juice, or carbonated drink. You can add some honey. It actually helps to dispense the oil through the water, because sometimes the oil can just sit along the top. So if you're just making one drink and you're adding oils right in, that's great because it's all going to go down the hatch. But if you're doing a bigger amount, you want to try help diffuse the oil through the liquid. For sauces and dips, you simply just mix it up, add your drop, and enjoy. So you don't have to really do anything special. You just drop it in at the end. For fish, poultry, and any other meats, you can definitely get creative. You can add it to soups, marinades, glazes, sauces. When you're doing things like, say, a spaghetti sauce, you would do all of that stuff first. And then when you're kind of just before you're ready to serve, is the best time to add your drops. Say if you're adding like basil and thyme and some black pepper or something to your spaghetti sauce, just do like 1 drop, give it a little swirl, and taste it, before you serve. So you don't want to add the oils and then simmer it for 3 or 4 hours. It's better just to do it right before serving. So here's another tip is when you're doing things with baking or adding it to drinks, depending on the oil that you're using, there's this method called the toothpick method. So you basically take a toothpick and where's an oil? Okay, you're gonna take an oil, and when you open it up, you see the little hole kind of in the middle. It's actually just an air hole. There's a teeny tiny, you probably won't be able to see it on the camera, but there's a teeny tiny hole kind of along the bottom where the oil actually drops out of. The middle part is where the air goes in to help it drop out. But typically what we do with the toothpick method is I just put it in the middle hole, and you just dip the toothpick in, swirl it into whatever you're making, give it a taste. If you need more, do more. That would be for the really, really strong oils like basil, thyme, rosemary, sometimes peppermint. So it just depends on what you're making and how large the batch is for how much you would put in. Okay, so let's get into some fun recipes to share. Okay, so I have, first up is, this is such a traditional thing, is eggnog. So you can add it to eggnog for delicious flavor. So same thing with the eggnog, you want to use the toothpick method so you don't have too much, but you can swirl. You guys might want to get out pen and paper, just telling you. I can copy and paste these and try share them into this group after, but if you want, grab a pen and paper so you can scratch this stuff down. So in your eggnog, you would add a toothpick swirl of nutmeg, cinnamon, orange, and clove essential oil. It tastes amazing. You can increase the oil to make stronger flavor, but delicious, delicious taste. Okay. Next one is orange cranberry sauce. This is has to go on your Christmas Day menu. It's so good. We've done this for years, and I don't know why I'm only sharing it now because it's just so delicious. But you make whatever your favorite. We like to make fresh homemade cranberry sauce. So we simply just get frozen organic cranberries. Simmer with water and a little bit of sugar. If you're trying to cut down on your sugars, I actually sometimes will use a sugar alternative. And by alternative, I do not mean artificial sweetener. Usually what I will do is I buy a blend of sweetener that is stevia, xylitol, and erythritol. So it's those three kind of blended together that tastes closest to sugar without the sugar, so it's not spiking your blood sugars. So I use that blend instead of regular sugar, or you could use raw cane sugar, something that's better than like traditional white sugar. But just your organic cranberries, water, sugar, simmer it, and then you can add a few drops. Like I probably would add, depending on how much you're making, 4 to 6 drops of orange oil. After it's simmered and kind of boiled down, and then stir that together, and oh my word, you guys, you will be thanking me Christmas Day because it is so good. Okay, next we have brownies. So brownies, you can do whatever is your favorite brownie kind of recipe, but you can use peppermint, orange, or lavender in your brownies. All taste delicious. Don't put all three together. Just pick one of the flavors, but like peppermint brownies, orange brownies, lavender brownies, like can be very, very good. So you just do your regular brownie and 3 to 4 drops of peppermint. So peppermint's a bit stronger, so you wouldn't want as much. If you're doing orange, you could do like 5 or 6 drops. And lavender, you would only need 1 drop of lavender if you wanted to try lavender brownies. And then you just bake as usual. Lemon bars are a common thing around Christmas too. Same thing, do your regular lemon bar recipe, and then 4 to 6 drops of lemon oil just to amp up that flavor. So tasty. Okay, this was one I stole from a friend, and it sounds delicious. I really kind of want to try and make it now. So lavender cream cheese and strawberries. So this recipe, you take a package or a block of cream cheese, you use half a cup of organic grade A maple syrup and 1 drop of lavender, and then you mix that together, and you can just taste it a little bit to see if the flavor is right for you, and then serve with strawberries. Hello. Like you could just dip them. Doesn't that sound amazing? I think anything, I don't know if you're like me, but anything like cream cheese is just delicious. So we already talked about spaghetti sauce, but marinara sauce. So you can add, any sort of spaghetti marinara type pasta sauce. You can drop 1 of each, oregano, black pepper, and basil. I would even add a drop of thyme into your regular recipe. If you want, just take smaller, you could start with a smaller batch and just do the toothpick and drop it and swirl it in, taste it just to see how you like it. And then if you happen to make that too strong, then when you infuse it into the bigger batch, it's better. But definitely with those stronger oils, just start really small and just dip the toothpick, swirl it in, and seriously, it's like packed full of flavor. And if you guys use, I don't know where I put it, but the essential oil quick reference guide, look up the benefits of these oils. So when you're making your pasta sauce and you're adding oregano, black pepper, thyme, and basil, go read all the benefits that this has in your body. So by just adding a drop of each of these into your meal, it is like packing your body full of amazing stuff and fights off viruses, all that kind of stuff. Oh yes, and Rhonda said rosemary, totally. Rosemary isn't as like potent and strong, and it's a really, really good one to add in as well. Good suggestion. Okay, guacamole. This is like to die for. So simple, but take your mashed up avocados. You can add chopped tomatoes, chopped garlic, chopped onion, salt and pepper. I would even do like 1 drop of black pepper oil and then 6 drops of lime essential oil. Amazing, 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 amazing. You will be loved at every single Christmas party. Okay, now I have a couple drink options, and then I'm gonna leave you with one of our favorites, and we do this last recipe, which is a favorite at a lot of events over Christmas time. So you guys will want to hear that one. But next up for drink option. So number one, you can actually use these oils for any drinks. I'm going to give you two non-alcoholic beverages. You can choose to add something if you want. My husband is very much a lover of craft fancy beer, so he will drop lime oil and those kinds of things in his beer. You can make any Christmas cocktail by adding citruses. Like instead of using anything sweet, we always just add lime, orange, any citrus oil to kind of spice it up. Don't forget to take your enzymes. If you're consuming any alcohol, it'll help break down the enzymes, will help break everything down in your system. Will make you help feel better the next day. Little tip. Okay, so the next drink it's called wassail tea. So it's kind of a different name. It's delicious, but you basically take 6 cups of apple cider, 2 cups of pineapple juice, and then you add oils. And so you want to heat it. So you can either heat it like in a pot, or if you have one of those big coffee canister things. And then 5 drops of clove essential oil, 5 drops of cinnamon bark, and 5 drops of tangerine. There's optional ingredients too. So one thing that I want to try next is to take that traditional recipe with the apple cider, pineapple, and the oils, and add a couple sleek tea bags, just to get that, I don't know, a little bit more of a tea taste to it. You can also add dried wolfberries. You can add Ningxia red. Ginger and nutmeg are also really great oils to add into that. And this is delicious. So I'll be sure to kind of like post these recipes just in case you guys didn't get them all written down, because they're so good. So for that tea, basically, yeah, you just throw it in a pot. Simmer medium high until it's like hot, and then serve it. Tastes so good. So it's really good because it's festive for the holiday, and you can add more oils if you like, but it's awesome. And then my favorite that I serve year round is a Ningxia punch. So I don't always add juice to it, but traditional punch, you would have your Ningxia red, however much you want to put in there, depending on how big you're serving, organic juice of choice or fresh squeezed juice, sparkling water, and then any citrus oil of choice. So lemon, lime, tangerine, orange, yuzu, like any of those citrus oils taste delicious. My favorite way is just the Ningxia sparkling water and oils. But if you're serving a large amount of people, so if you have like 20 people coming over for Christmas, by just adding some organic juice to it will kind of help it just go a little bit further, and it's just a little healthier than the other options. Okay, and our last favorite recipe to share is the famous peppermint patties. I have 2 girlfriends, Cassie and Emma. They make these all the time, and they are so freaking delicious, and you will definitely want to try them. They're so simple. So you have to just adjust. I didn't even write down the exact, I'll get the exact measurements, but it's creamed coconut. So just your coconut, if you're baking a coconut from Costco, you're going to take that. It's got peppermint oil, raw honey, and dark chocolate. So you're basically going to mix the creamed coconut, honey, and the peppermint to taste. So whip it in a mixer, form them into small little patties, and you can place them on parchment lined cookie sheet so that they form in patties. Cassie's tip is to use like, what's it called? Like silicone, little, like if you have mini silicone cups for cupcakes, those are the best because they're easy to pop out after. You want to form them into small patties, either put them in the silicone or on parchment paper, and then you're going to freeze them for 30 minutes. And you're going to melt your dark chocolate in a bowl, like you can do double boiler. So pot to hot water, take a stainless steel bowl, melt your dark chocolate, and then you're just going to simply dip the frozen pieces of coconut oil and honey and whatever. You're going to dip it and then set it back on parchment paper. and then keep them in the freezer. You want to keep them in the freezer kind of all the time because they melt super fast. So just set them out right before serving, but they melt in your mouth. Like they are so, so delicious. Oh, love me some peppermint patties. I hear you, Cassie. Okay. So those were the recipes. This was a super short class, which is totally okay because I know you guys probably have a ton of things to do to get prepared for Christmas. But I do have some cooking oils that I'm going to give away. So what I want you to share is either which recipe you're going to try, or if you have a favorite recipe, it doesn't have to be Christmas related, but any recipe that you want to share with us, please pop it into the comments and you will get entered into the draw. So thank you guys for tuning in tonight. I hope that was helpful, and I am looking forward to seeing some fun, yummy pictures of the creations that you guys come up with. Also, while I am thinking of it, next week, next class on Monday, we had so many people want to hear about this topic. So even though it's not Christmas related, it is in a way because, of course, us women need to have our hormones on track. So that is your surprise. We are going to be talking hormones next Monday. So make sure to invite any women that need just support in that area. We all do. We all need to know how to live our best life and feel our best and balance our hormones. And yes, we are going to be talking about all of that next Monday. So make sure to tune in and share that with your friends. And I hope you guys have an amazing night. I look forward to talking to you next Monday. Take care.